Right, hello and welcome to the second video in the alloy wheel project. Before we start creating our spokes, I just want to quickly show you what we can do with our browser up the left hand side here. Now, as you can see, as I hover over each feature in our browser, it highlights it on our drawing. Now, I have noticed that I've done one dimension wrong, and that was actually on our rim, so it's the very first thing that we drew. It's actually very easy to edit that. So if I go up to revolution, you can see it's highlighting my rim. I hit the plus, we can go over the sketch, click it, and I can either hit this icon here that's appeared, and if you see I hover over it, it says edit sketch, or over the top of the sketch I can just right click and select edit sketch. I can actually come back in and look at what I've already done. Now I just want to change this dimension here, so I'm going to click it and I'm actually going to delete it. I'm now going to select dimension again, and I'm going to dimension it from the outside of the wheel to the end of that line. I'm going to enter 23. Okay, and finish my sketch. You can see everything's moved, so that's actually updated it and changed, modified all this to what I've now adjusted the sketch to. Now it's quite a bit visible on this drawing at the moment. We've got these work planes that we created. There's one there, there's one in the middle. You can also see I've got a sketch visible in the middle. So let's just tidy that up and turn these bits off. So there's one of our work planes. Under that is our middle work plane. Just click that one, right click, and if you see down here we've got visibility highlighted or ticked. So let's just untick that. Same for that one. Right. Let's just select work plane, right click, select work plane, right click, deselect visibility, work plane, deselect visibility, and let's find our sketch that we can see still. Which one is it? That one. Unselect visibility. Okay, it's all disappeared. As you can see, we've now got a much cleaner drawing. Okay, so let's start to draw our spoke profile. Select 2D sketch. Let's open up our origin. Let's select XZ plane, straight down the middle. Now again, what we're going to do, right click, slice graphics. So we've now cut our shape in half. And if you come up to project geometry, use the drop down, and we're going to project cut edges. You can see we've now highlighted, there's our die in the middle and there's our rim. Okay, now on the line you'll be able to find spline, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create the dish of our wheel. So we're going to create the front face and the inside face. So I'm going to use a couple of snaps here. I am going to snap to some geometry. Got to be a little careful with this, because what we want to do is we only really want to draw the inside and the outside, and then we're going to revolve it. Now, spline command. I would recommend minimum 4 to 5 points on your spline, and I'm just simply going to click. Just watch for constraints as you're doing this. You want as few constraints as possible. Oh, sorry, let's just undo that. Reselect it. I finished my spline off a bit too soon. Right, I don't want it to snap to anything, apart from my last point, which is on that top corner. Snap to that, hit our tick to finish it off. Doesn't actually really matter what it looks like at the moment, because all these points here we can use to drag to modify our shape. Really simply, really easily, and this is quite nice actually, because it's almost like doing a freehand sketch. Let's just select our spline command again, and it's now, so that's the inside of our wheel. Now let's do the outside of our wheel. I'm going to snap to the end of my arc there. No, actually I'm going to snap higher up. It's snap to the intersection between my two arcs. Okay, now I'm deliberately coming quite a way out of my wheel because I don't want, what we've got, as you can see, it will constantly try to snap to constraints, and I deliberately do not want these constraints to be active. Okay, bring him all the way in, and I want to finish it off on that line. Let's hit our tick, and again we can drag our points and modify our arc shape. Alright, try to visualize what it's going to look like. Again, be a little careful with your constraints. I'm getting constraints crossing there, so I'll just cancel that one. Let's pull that one out. Let's pull this one down. Let's pull that one up. Okay. Let's drag that one up. Just check my shape at the top. Don't really want that line to overlap, so it's just bring him out. I'm going to bring him up. Again, you can actually bring these points up and down, so I can use them in different ways to modify the shape. When you're happy, you can always go back in the same way we modified the rim profile. We can always go back and change all of this. We're just going to finish off our shape in the middle now. Use the drop down and let's select line. Just make sure your snaps are highlighted. Now, we don't need to go to the middle. We can just go beyond this shape here. This is going to be the middle of our wheel. This is going to cut through the middle of our wheel. Okay, we just need to be below that. Now, don't know if you saw that, but the as I dragged out, constraint wasn't appearing. By going up to that point and then dragging down, it forces the constraint. And let's go up and finish it off. Let's just finish that sketch. Now, hopefully this will allow me to revolve it. I may have to go back and edit the rim profile. Let's just see what happens. Just select revolve. No, that's picked it up perfectly. Okay, because I was careful with my snaps on all my points, it's actually picked that up as a completed shape. Now, we didn't actually complete the shape at the top, but because we cut it, projected our cut edges, and then snaps to those cut edges, it's actually forced it to give us that profile. So we've selected our profile. Select axis, select our axis, x-axis. Remember, this is we can only use this because we drew initially around a 0, 0 point. Select axis, and let's just create a new solid and hit OK. We've got full. Now, we just show you that if I put an angle in and I only select 90 degrees, which it's defaulted to, can you see I'm just extruding or revolving 90 degrees. Alright, full takes it all the way around 360 degrees. When you're happy, click OK. can see now we've got our rim, we've got our dish in the front of our wheel, and we've got our tooling. Right, let's actually use our tooling now. Under this one, combine, base, tool body. Now, literally tool body. This is why I say this is our tooling. We're going to use this shape that we created to cut the middle of our wheel out. Okay, our base is going to be this solid here. You're going to select cut, tool body. We need to select all these shapes. You can use the browser for this because a lot of them are invisible, and you can see you can hover over and it will highlight. It's actually far easier to come over here, expand your tool bodies. Okay. Use the dotted lines it's obviously producing as you hover over. Solid 1 is our rim, solid 3 is the back of our wheel, solid 4 is the middle, solid 2 is our holes, and solid 5 is our hubcap. Apply, and you can see what it's done is it's removed all of our shape. So we've now got a wheel that would fit to our car and accept our tyre. Okay, so hopefully you've now see why we did all those constructions in the middle. Let's just finish that off by closing it down. Now, let's start a new 2D sketch. This 2D sketch is where we're going to start to draw our spoke profiles. Start 2D sketch. Now we need a plane. Obviously this plane needs to be on the front. Plane. Let's just zoom in, select this plane. Select plane again. And let's just drag it away. Okay, let's just make sure off the front. If you look at the middle of my shape, as I go in and out, you can see the plane is intersecting the front of my wheel. Now because I freehand drew it, I need to create a plane that is in front, just in front of my bulge in my dish on the wheel. Now 10mm looks okay, I've got 9mm there. Let's just confirm that. Start 2D sketch, and now let's select my new work plane that I've created. Again, I'm going to create some construction lines here. Let's select line. I'm going to use my construction line command. I'm going to snap to the centre, cursor's turn green. Let's drag him up and get a vertical constraint. Right click, hit OK. Now, you're going to have to start to make your decisions about what your wheel is going to look like. I'm going to do a 7-spoke wheel. So I'm now going to do a circular pattern. I'm now going to pattern, just automatically come up with geometry. I'm going to pattern this line. I'm going to pattern it around the middle. It's defaulted to 6. Because I want to do a 7-spoke wheel, I'm going to change that to 14. So twice the amount of spokes that I want to do. And hit OK. How much can I zoom in? What I want to be able to see is the outside of the wheel and the middle of the wheel. And let's select spline control. If you start outside the wheel, so if we imagine every other line is going to be a spoke, this line here is going to be the symmetry of the cutout. Now, if I just draw it, hopefully that will make sense. Just zoom in, snap to the middle, and finish off. Now you can see I didn't unhighlight construction, so let's just select that line and now unhighlight construction. You can see we've turned it into a solid line. Mirror command. We just cancel that. Mirror command. Asks you to select what you wish to mirror. Select our spline. Select mirror line. First construction line. Apply. Alright. And hit done. Now to extrude that, we need a complete shape, so we're going to close it off with a straight line. Select line. And let's draw it across. Again, right click, OK. Didn't have construction unhighlighted. Just to give ourselves an idea what our wheel's going to look like, we're going to revolve this. We're going to use a circular array. We're not going to extrude our array. It asks you to select your geometry. 1 line, 2 lines, 3 lines. Select your axis. Select the middle. We're going to do 7 spokes, so that's 7 cutouts. Select 7. Click OK. OK. And now you can see, here are my spokes, these are my cutouts. Give you an idea of what the wheel's going to look like. If you want to change it, again, as we did creating the dish of our wheel, we can now drag all our different shapes, all our different points on our spline. And because we patterned it around, we can get a much better visualization of what our wheel's going to look like. When you're happy, finish sketch. You can spend as much time as you want on that. You can also do patterns in between. If you want to do a second drawing in between, we can do that as well. Now, select extrude, and let's select one of our cutouts. Change it to cut. We only want to select, or we only want to cut through our face solid, so we can actually select which solid we're going to extrude through. So let's just select our extrude. Before I do that, I've got a cutlet. If I drag that across, you can see it's going through the whole wheel. Select solids. Just want to cut through this solid here. Let's just cancel that ammo. It hasn't done it right. Select our solid. Change to cut. Select solid. It's actually selecting more than I want it to. Is it that one? Select that solid. And let's drag our arrow. Still going for everything. Right, just going to cancel that now. Extrude. Profile. Solid. Just the front. Select cut. There you go. Right, a little bit of fiddling about there. But you can see now it's just cut through the middle and not the wheel rim. When you're happy, select OK. And let's just get rid of that work plane. Just click work plane, untick visibility. Okay, so that's quite neat. We've only gone through our front profile and we've left our rim. And this allows us to get a realistic visualization of how an alloy wheel would actually look. This is actually manufacturable. It would be exactly what you wanted. Select our circular pattern, features. We're going to rotate this this extrude. Select our axis. Select our x-axis again. Change our placement to 7 and hit OK. And there you can see, quick, easy, simple. It's got our alloy wheel. If you want to go back and change anything, you can still do it in the same way we modified the shape of our rim, by coming back up and finding what feature it was. For instance, that was here. We can click modify our sketch. That is still modifiable if you would want to. You could go back and change that. Now, one last thing to do is just tidy our wheel up a little bit using our fillet command. 2mm fillet, let's just change that to 3. And what I want to do is I just want to apply that 3mm fillet to my edges around the wheel, just to soften them off. Alright, quickly, simply, down we go, and let's finish that. Alright, you can see that's really softened the edges. If I just go back to my extrusion, my first extrusion, I just want to show you something else. Just click the extrusion, right click, and edit feature. If you select more here, you can see we can actually put a taper in. Now this is realistic for if we were doing a cast wheel. Obviously you would need a draft angle on it. So we can actually put this angle on our feature. Alright, so that actually makes a realistic feature. Let's just go back and do that again. Edit feature, select more, I've put in -3. If you're unsure which direction it's going, put in a larger angle. Let's just select 40, and you can see in your preview, you can see our angle actually being applied. So we can see we really want a minus angle, so let's just put in -4 degrees, which would give us a suitable angle for our casting. Let's click OK, and that's now updated it, not only to that feature but all the subsequent features that we arrayed. A little bit more tidying up. Let's create a chamfer, 4mm chamfer. Let's apply a 4mm chamfer to our holes. This will be where our wheel nuts sit, and hit OK. Let's chamfer again. This time let's do a 2mm chamfer. Now let's tidy up our edges here, and also on the back of our wheel here and here. Alright, let's just finish that off. Alright, and there you go. Alloy wheel. To colour it, I've now got two solids. I've got my rim and I've got my middle profile, and I can actually select my rim, come up to my materials drop down menu, and I can do the two of them different colours. So let's do polished chrome rim, and now let's select my solid in the middle, my spokes, and what should we do? I actually quite like what should we do? Let's try clear green. Okay, click off it to unselect. Oh no, looks glassy. That is literally clear. Wouldn't be much of a wheel. Let's go polished blue chrome. Oops. Chrome, polished blue. Much better. Okay. Chrome rim, polished blue spokes. Excellent. Alright. I hope you enjoyed that. Sorry how simple it was. When you come to do your spoke shape, you can do anything you want. Have a play with it. See what it looks like. You can do multiple spokes. You can do cutouts on the faces here. try and make it look realistic. Do some research, have a look, see what's available, see what other people have done. As many spokes as you want, as few spokes as you want. Hopefully more than one. I don't think I want to be in a car with a one spoke wheel on it. Alright, have a play, have a little bit of fun, see how you do. Alright, thank you for listening.